Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Worldwide History of History. Haven't seen this background in a while. I guess you could call this background the attic. You know, the attic, because it looks like a flippin' attic. Welcome back to the attic and Worldwide History of History, and today we're going to talk about something very fascinating. Now, just so you know, this channel's about history, okay? So, let's get to it. Alright, so today is something about World War II. World War II is a very infamous moment in world history, not just American history, but world history. Now, of course, the war lasted from 1939 until 1945. And, of course, this is a book from a series of books on the history of World War II from 1944. This means that this book came out when the war was still going on. Now, this is the first one in the series. It is volume 1. Hope to get some of the other volumes. Now, of course, this book, what's amazing about it is it's not a complete source. Well, it's a great, primary source, but it's not a complete one. And the reason I say that is this probably doesn't have the events from 1945. The reason why is because this came out in 1944. The volume 1, you don't need to worry about 1945 because you gotta get through the early years, like way early. Now, of course, this one is called the first and second years. That means probably around 1939, 1940, 41ish. Wait, yeah, 41. So this is the first few years. Now, of course, when you open the book, you enter to see this beautiful illustration, which depicts a map with with images showing scenes from World War II that happened all over the world. Right here where my thumb is, you'll see a row of barrels. Now, of course, the book is aged quite a bit. But the great thing about its age is this thing was made during World War II. And that means that there's going to be a lot more correct in this source, than a later book that was written probably around nowadays. I mean, seriously, now, of course, not everything is gonna be in this. I mean, there's gonna be things that were discovered many years after the war. And that's what makes, this book interesting. This book, because this was also from when a lot of the projects and a lot of the pieces of history that were, part of World War II weren't declassified yet. They weren't yet declassified. So stuff that we might know now, we might have not been known by the common people, not by known by everybody back then. Nowadays, historians might know those interesting things, like war historians, military historians might know that kind of stuff. But nowadays, yeah, but back then, not everybody knew about it. Very few people, the government mainly, knew about this. Okay, so enough about the book. Let's take a look inside. I gotta be very careful, so I'm gonna just move myself a bit, move the camera a bit, because this book is over 70 years old. So I want to be careful. I want to hold it in the best way where I can show the pictures yet not damage the book. I found this at a thrift shop. Here are some of the images. I found it at a thrift shop, which really surprised me. I mean, I guess, thrift shops do get their hands on a lot of neat stuff. But you see in the book, there's amazing things. And a lot of these people, including President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who died in 1945, were actually still alive when this book came out. And that's what's really fascinating about it. People like Adolf Hitler, and Hirohito and Roosevelt Most, if not all, of those people were alive in 1944 when the book came out. Hitler had allegedly, which is mostly, said and mostly accepted by historians, committed suicide at the end of the war. So, yeah, FDR died that same year, 1945, and he actually, from what I heard, died in office. So, it's actually a shame. He was the president. You gotta remember, he was the president that got us through not just World War II, but also, and if I accidentally said World War One, I mean World War II. He also got us through the Great Depression. You gotta remember that. He was a very influential president. And of course, here he has some more pictures. And FDR is probably one of the best presidents that we can thank for several things. And this book really, I think, is a great source if you want to find out, see actual scenes from this war. Now, one more thing about the book, and it's not on the inside, it's on the outside. Sometimes, you know, the cover can be judged just as much as the contents. The story, the old saying, "Can't judge a book by its cover." Well, here's a neat one. Here's the cover. Look at this. You see just how amazing, and it's not easy to see. If I had a light on me here, you see right here on the spine, it shows a bomber. Like I said, it's not going to be easy to see, but where my finger is, you see a bomber. There's a bomber. There's also a tank and a warship or battleship. And right here, we see all three of them together on this little emblem. So thank you for watching the Worldwide History, and subscribe to the channel. We're gonna have a lot more amazing things, especially nearing Christmas time, because I know that I'm gonna get some presents for Christmas, so I'll try to show some of those, and also try to make some documentaries like a history of Christmas. I'm I'm planning on making a documentary before Christmas Eve on the history of Santa Claus. So that's going to take a little bit of time. So if I don't, post any more videos of for like a while, that's probably the reason why I'm going to be working on that. So, story of Santa Claus. Ho, ho, ho. And subscribe, ring the little bell, tell your friends. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Bye.